A scene for Empire of Thorns. Today, our illustrious protagonists, Charlemagne, Iris, and Bruce, are all at Battery Park. Um, Iris is planning to meet Charlemagne there, and Bruce is wandering around sightseeing. And Iris is meeting Bruce at a rather fancily named statue that looks a bit weird, but is currently on the screen. So, for reference. Um, and when Charlemagne arrives, um, Iris has waited until there's not very many people around. She doesn't mind Charlemagne coming over, but she's waited till there's not many people around, and has kind of reached behind a bit of the statue, and is scraping a teeny bit of verdigris off from somewhere where it won't be noticed and won't spoil the statue
Fair enough.
into
Okay,
into a little paper bag.
okay. You do see Charlemagne, and actually, weirdly, interestingly enough, it's his off time. It was his day off. It's the day before Thanksgiving. No one wanted a Thanksgiving party, thank God. Um, so he actually looks a lot like his overlay picture right now. You know, just a simple shirt, simple jacket. It's a little nippy for it, but he's not really feeling it that bad. But it is definitely much more comfortable wear, something more relaxed than what Iris has normally seen him with.
Iris is just as casual as usual, with her jeans and t-shirt and hoodie kind of situation going on.
Right. And
Um,
so he'll walk into the center of the park where all the statues are and stuff like that. Um, just scan the area before he lays eyes on Iris, smiles, and starts walking her way.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Um, I've been learning to bake and I'm collecting some bits and pieces for crafting and stuff. Um, I had an idea for something, and I don't know whether you wanted to kind of involve it somehow with the party, um, or if you'd know who to talk to about it. But when he saw the drawing, he was pretty excited. So she's just gonna hold out her sketch pad open to a page with a drawing that looks fairly like this.
It's the wolf armor, isn't it?
It is wolf armor. It will look a lot more like a giant wolf and King Farron than a husky. But yeah, it is wolf armor. And there is kind of leaves and greenness woven with the goldenness in the other version. But yeah, it is that kind of a look to it.
Okay. It's like, yeah, I remember you showing that one a couple days ago.
Well,
Um,
I'm not sure who to talk to about you know funding it if I make it and stuff.
did the king say he wanted it? AKA, did he actually commission it?
Uh, Not yet. He saw it and he got really excited and he bounced around and he picked me up. And then he realized he had to go and do stuff, and I was able to wiggle free. But he really seemed to like it. He was in his wolf form, so I don't know if that makes much difference.
As you just see him starting to do what obviously looks like him doing math in his head about how much, and you can probably figure out about how much would you need to make that type of armor. And the answer is probably about, I don't know.
It's a level 3 token, and she can make it using hedge spinning.
Okay.
because armor comes up as level 1 is for hedge spun garment, level 2 is essentially kind of black jacket, and then level 3 is full armor. Um,
Okay. Which means you're using more goblin market than actual resources.
Actually, it's usually a mixture.
True.
Um, and Iris has looked into exactly what she needs, but you probably won't know exactly what she needs. Just that it tends
Yeah,
to be
because that's not. Yeah, if it's a token,
hmm
he not. He doesn't really know that one.
Yeah.
As he'll just kind of, as you see him like going and fail, and just look. So, how much do you need, or what are you needing?
Well, I've got the pedigree. So she holds up her little paper baggie. And I need some bronze, and a lot of glamour,
I
and
know what.
a lot of glamour, um, to keep me going while I'm spinning. Um,
Right.
and the sound of someone playing in leaves. So I should be able to sort that one out, I suppose. Um,
Playing a what?
someone playing in leaves. It was
Okay.
originally an autumn recipe, so I'm kind of adapting it for the more spring leaves. Um, it yeah, it might be more playing in grass, but I'm going to work on that button.
Okay. The glamour right now shouldn't be a hard thing as well, as long as you don't mind the flavor of it. 2 days from now, there's gonna be lots of emotion, as long as you know where to look.
She nods. I haven't really done much of that yet.
The other way to do that is goblin fruit that can be harvested, but you'll probably need a guide for that.
She nods.
Um, as he's just looking off into the distance, hands in pockets, you really get a definite profile of him at this point. Um, because he's not really, thinking about much anything, and so he's like standing tall, and he is, 6 foot. I wanted to say 6'2", so he's a big guy, and
Yeah.
staring off into space with the teeth, protruding and stuff like that. It
I'm just
is
I'm not sure whether to talk with you as you're kind of planning the party, and I don't know whether you're kind of worrying about his costume and big entrance and things, or to talk with someone who might want to get him a present, or to just go and talk with him. So I figured I'd ask you first.
that's fair. We could do that, as it wouldn't be that hard to put it into the billing. But usually, most billings you get afterwards, and so you would still have to get the materials before you get paid back.
She'll nod.
Um, I'd be willing to help you, as I do think this is a good idea. I can help you with the glamour uh, allotment, and I might be able to get you some leaves, the sounds of leaves, or grass, or whatever you were saying you needed. But you're more into the goblin market than I am.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can sort out that bit. I also need some brass.
Grass, I can get
Well,
you. I can probably find you some grass somewhere.
um,
It's not about how much do you need.
she'll kind of gesture with her hands, a sort of size of a bread bin.
Okay. I'm assuming she means an ingot that size.
Yeah, pretty much. Because he's a fairly large wolf, but she's it's going to end up being relatively thin armor because it's supposed to be flexible. So
Right. Um, Let me poke around on that one. I might be able to get you something for that, or at least some scavenge. As there's probably places that sell old brass around here, and sometimes old brass help works even better when it comes to hedge spinning.
this is true.
Anything with a story.
She'll nod. I'm also now. I know that it's not really fair just kind of asking you for stuff, but I don't really have much human money stuff going on. So I don't suppose you could get me some black silk and some white silk and some brown wool.
He'll just smile for a moment and go, "Tell you what, this is what we can do. Give me a moment here. And what I can do is I can set something up that is mutually exclusive to both of us. Give me a night to write it up, and tell you what, I can set up a monthly pledge that will give us both the financial needs we need and make sure that neither of us is going to harm the other. It's a good neighbor pledge.
I think I saw Theo do something like that with Thorin.
It's possible. Pledges are actually fairly common things around a lot of people, as they do allow us to take advantage of the weird around us. And so, if you're okay with this, I'd be glad to take that as part of the payment for finding the stuff for you. Would
So
that be agreeable?
so what is the exact details of the pledge thing?
Effectively, what I will build it around is that it'll be a good neighbor's pledge, as it were. That we will mutually help each other to the best of our abilities, uh, up up to and including harm. Or what? No, not harm. As he looks away, as he looks at, if I remember right, Iris is a very small frame, right?
Well, she's not very small, but she's definitely not large.
Right.
She's only got one strength and one stamina, but
That's what I figured.
she's not a wizened. So
Right.
not well, she's kind of teenage build rather than adult build, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. No. I
She is an
totally.
adult, but she's got that kind of build.
Right. No. I totally understand what you're saying there. Um. Not. And he goes from up to including to not including harm. Uh, give me a day to write it up, as pledges should not be thrown haphazardly. But
Okay.
effectively, it would our bond would allow us to afford the resources we need to make sure this party goes well.
Um, I kind of, although that was partly for the spring and partly for the winter. Um, there was a bit of a contract thing. Malik was organising a non-aggression contract
Okay. None. Those are useful.
with the goblins.
Okay.
Um, so a contract that would prevent prevent any form of aggression or harm um, for a day and a night with all the sovereigns and their guests in attendance.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was yeah. So hopefully the party will go well. I don't know how much he knows about goblin markets, but that is a big ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably don't want to know what the price is.
I
Um,
probably don't.
but if you give me a wits composure,
Sure.
or if your wits empathy is higher, I suppose you can use that one. But
Let's empathy. I think the composure is actually better. Give me a moment here.
yeah, because either is kind of relevant at this point.
Yeah, my wits composure's better. Give me a moment. Okay. Second. 2 successes.
Um, Iris. Well, you know that Iris tends to dress fairly casually. She's got a rather fancy bracelet on her wrist, and she kind of fiddled with it slightly while she was talking about that contract.
Get a new token.
Sort of. I kind of have to give it back. Um,
I gotta love things on lease. He's apparently going to be completely and utterly oblivious.
yep, that's fair enough.
Anyway, um, but yeah, let me write that up for us. I might not actually have it. I might just have it as a month and a day. As he looks at his clock, yeah, that would be enough time. A month and a day to give us the resources and to be friends effectively. Uh,
God.
and it won't have anything major in it. I mean, like I said, it's only a month, a month pledge, but it should give us what we need, or what both of us need at this point to get going. As he looks at his phone and then has been fiddling around with it, as Hex has been actually doing that while we were here. Okay, so plumber's brass, which is probably what you're going to need, looks like it's going for about less than $1 a pound. So he gives about the same hand gestures. You're probably looking at about 30 pounds, $30, which is not that horrible. But that's also for scrap brass. Sorry, my voice is apparently going away today. That's not kind of good.
I might need slightly more if it's scrap in case some of it isn't any good, but not by much.
Right. You're still not. It's not like gold where a large quantity of it is A, hard to find, and B, super expensive.
Jumod.
Um, but yeah, um, as he just kind of smiles, meet me for dinner tomorrow night, and we can get that pledge finished, okay?
Um, I suppose so. I mean, haven't really made plans tomorrow yet. Yeah.
Or lunch, whatever works for you. I do not want to take your time.
I tell you what. Uh, your office place. Shall I bring some snacks over?
Somewhat?
Some snacks, like a indoor picnic thing.
Sure, we can do that.
Then that sounds good then.
He nods. Okay. As he just looks around the park. As he. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm out of character. I'm tired and still, so it's. I just got up.
that's fair enough.
So I'm a little. My brain's a little foggy.
Yeah, that's all good. It's probably at this point that Bruce will see the pair of changelings, or the pair of changelings will see Bruce.
Sure. If he's still alive.
Let's say that Bruce just slowly starts walking, um, like in front of you. He probably won't notice you two because he doesn't know Charlemagne and he just met Iris the other day.
Hmm.
So he's just walking by.
That being said, um, Charlemagne's Charlemagne's mane is fairly large, so even if you don't know him, you probably recognise that he's a changeling.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I'm a tall. I am. I don't want to say lanky because I am strength 3, but I'm a fairly tall and well built person, both in mask and mane.
same goes for Bruce too. He is about around 6'7", 6'8",
Oh wow, I'm shorter than you.
and huh?
I'm 6'2". Sorry, go ahead.
And he is, I mean, like he's completely made out of muscle, hence the Arcadian body. Um, so he actually notices you because you probably are the biggest, most well-built thing around,
Other than
and he, other than who?
other than the statues.
Yeah, and then he then also notices Iris, and he just like waves at you guys, and he looks like he doesn't want to interrupt between you guys, so he's just gonna wave and find a bench to sit.
Iris is going to wave back. Do you know Bruce?
No, I don't think I've met him.
She's gonna
As
kind of
you
wander
just
over.
see Charlemagne just look back at Bruce.
Iris is kind of gonna wander over in Bruce's vague direction.
Charlemagne will follow, kind of just slightly shaking his head.
Hello.
Hello there. Iris, was it?
Yes. Bruce, this is Charlemagne, and Charlemagne, this is Bruce.
Charlemagne automatically has that seller smile on, and extends his hand out to Bruce. Nice to meet you.
And he has a smile on his face too. Nice to meet you too.
Bruce is from the Summer Court, and Charlemagne is from the Spring Court, and he's a party planner person.
Yes, I am a party planner. Um,
What does a party planner do?
Actually, a lot. You'd be really shocked. You'd also be really shocked on what people want in parties. Um, I do set up the cook. I do set up what people make for the cook. To the foggy hex is foggy. Um, it goes from finding the place to have the party to getting the food for the party to what is at the party, and even to some degree making sure the guests are RSVP'd. It really depends on how lazy the people hiring me are.
Oh, I understand. And he shakes his head up and down.
Yeah. But you know what? The more lazy they are, the more I get paid. So, anyway, so you're with the summer court. How are they doing?
Um, there's this look on Bruce's face. You can roll with sympathy if you want.
Sure.
I'm not entirely sure Iris will need to, seeing as
No, Iris.
knows.
Iris just knows.
Yeah.
Um, that's 8, 9, or 10. So one success.
Okay. When you say, how do you? I mean, like, how do you find Summer Court? How do you like Summer Court? You can kind of get a feeling that he is disturbed and uncomfortable when you talk about it.
Okay. And him being not dumb, we'll just go. Anyway. Um. So, what do you do, Bruce?
I I don't actually do anything yet. It's been back here.
I think you broke up on that last bit.
Oh, he said, I'm not exactly doing anything yet. It's not been long since I'm back here.
Okay. And so, if I may ask, how long? Do you remember? As he gets this very concerned look on his face, as he's just looking him up and down, seeing um, what it, getting any sort of feel off of Bruce. But his straight question is, how long have you been out?
Let me think. It has been like 4, maybe 5 days at most.
Okay. Well, first things first, welcome back. We're glad that you made it out.
Thank you.
As and he's got this very concerned look about him. Not quite protective, but um, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it because it's not protective, but it's more concern for your well-being. Anyway, where are you sleeping right now? Or where are you calling home?
I have a place. Small
Okay.
place, but a place to sleep nonetheless.
Good. Okay. Do you know any skills, anything like that? Maybe I can hook you up with a job somewhere. Get you
I
back
can
in.
fight or I can heal.
Okay. Um, you can heal.
Yes.
Are you using contracts, or do you actually have medicine?
Was it an OOC question?
Uh, actually, no. The interesting thing about that is, he might not use medicine, or I'm trying. Are you trained to? Uh, are you like a paramedic? There we go.
Oh. He looks at you and goes, "Oh, no. My style of martial arts can be used to heal as well as to damage."
Okay. So you know martial arts. Okay. As he kind of looks off, like, I don't know how to do this. Um, let me poke around. I might. Do you have any other skills that you could use? I mean, I understand fighting. As he looks at you, can see him actually effectively looking at your aura of summer.
Mm-hmm.
But because he's not hiding it. Um, and well, there might be a couple bouts I could get you into, maybe. But that's not really a great career to keep yourself in some money to make sure you don't, or you have a house over your head and such.
He looks at you, he's kind of confused, and he just gets up from the bench and says, "Are you hurt in any way? Do you have any pain of sorts?"
Not really. I'm actually in fairly good health, thank you.
"Hmm, okay." He clearly is trying to find a way to demonstrate what he said.
As he, this is not as he's like, okay, let's think here. I do
By the way,
apologize.
he is looking at you, looking at your body in a way like he's trying to find something.
Um, I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to remember. Um, if he's probably fair, let's just go with this to allow you to do it. He might be favoring one ankle over another, like he just recently twisted it.
Uh-huh. Let me do a quick wits medicine roll.
Sure.
+1 from that. 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
Another one. So, with that, he takes a look at that ankle,
Right.
and he knows exactly where to put his hands on. He just
Right.
like presses a knuckle really hard to a point of your ankle,
Uh-huh.
and whatever problem that you seem to have starts um, starts getting less and less of a problem
Okay.
every minute from now on.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's kind of pushing just the right pressure points.
Fair enough. It's one of those. Uh, he goes and watches this and goes, and then like I'm assuming you had him sit on the bench since it was right
Mm-hmm.
there while you were doing this. So he gives it a minute to, let the pressure points do their business, and then he stands on it and goes, "Huh, okay then." Um,
Do you have
oh,
a phone?
what?
She's asking Bruce this. Do you have a phone?
He pulls out this very old-looking flip phone.
Can I have your number? Because the last time someone got hurt, they called Draven, and if Draven is kind of in trouble and stuff, and someone gets hurt, might need to call someone else.
He nods and um puts his phone number on his own phone and hands it to you, so you can copy it to your phone.
And she'll take her phone out, which is surprisingly nice. And it has kind of shifting colours on the cover.
Nice.
It is a smartphone with a pastel-y watercolor cover.
Ooh.
Nice.
But she'll put the number in. And then she'll push the ring thing so that he has her number.
Cool. Okay. Charlemagne just hands you a card. It's a very simple, just, it says trip trappings on it, because yes, I took that.
Woo!
I liked it. Trip trappings on it. It has like Charlemagne and a last name that I haven't figured out yet. Uh, Party consultant and a phone number, and he'll hand it to Beckett or Bruce. Sorry.
He takes it, takes a look at it, puts it on in his pocket and nods.
Anyway, as he looks over at Iris, anything else you need me for?
She'll just kind of shake her head.
Okay. Well, I have to get stuff for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm doing a small get together
What's
if you would like to
Thanksgiving?
join. He blanks out for a minute.
Yeah.
Right,
To be fair, Iris is
right.
English, and she was taken about 30 or 40 years ago. So
True enough.
she's probably seen all the stuff in the shops, but she doesn't really understand it.
And he'll nod and realize that the statement he was making earlier of how why Friday is going to be so bloody glamour intensive, it's not even funny, probably didn't completely dawn on her. Okay, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a day that is an American holiday for giving thanks for what we have.
That's nice.
And yes, and actually, it fits very much into the Springs culture. And so I'm actually going to hold a small gathering if you would like to come. To, just food, friends, something to drink. I might actually see if I can go find a brewer.
Where do you plan to
To,
have it?
what?
Where do you plan to have it?
Probably at my apartment. Like I said, nothing fancy.
Will it be big enough? Because, I mean, if it's a very spring thing, and there's lots of spring people,
Right. Well, unfortunately, a lot of places aren't open on Thanksgiving.
well, there's a very big kitchen at the spring freehold.
That is true. We could do that. I'd probably have to ask permission.
Especially if we make sure that there is lots of food for King Farah.
That is true.
What kind
You'd
of food?
probably enjoy that.
What kind of food do you usually have for the meal?
Traditionally, it's turkey and dressing, mashed potatoes and gravy.
And like Christmas, except with mashed potatoes instead of roast potatoes?
Yes, it, it is a day of excess. And so if it's very rich for the foods a lot of times. Effectively, also think of it this way: it's also a harvest festival where there is no festivals because they don't follow a lot of the old ways.
So it's kind of an autumn and a spring festival.
Yes, I as he like it, you see it on his face that it never really dawned on him. But yes, it is.
So apple upside down cake.
Yeah, totally. It's a vegetable. Yeah, actually, that sounds amazing right now. But yeah, no. I was just gonna cobble some stuff together to just have a very. It's. I'm wanting it to be a simple. Is my thing.
Oh, then maybe not at the spring court. It's quite big, and if you tell people that you want to use the spring court for a big meal, everyone will want to join in.
Right. Um, I'm not wanting to be exclusive to this. By the way, he turns to Bruce. Bruce, you are more than happy. I am more than happy to have you as a guest.
He nods. Apologies, I've promised one called Soren to help him. I might not be able to be there, but thanks for the invitation.
Not a problem. This will be an all-day thing. If once you guys are done, if you feel like you need food, feel free to call. Feel free to come over.
Thank you.
Um, as he looks back at Iris, that also goes for you. Um, I will let others know. It's neutral. It's effectively what I would like is neutral ground,
So
where
it's like Christmas, but with extra food and without the presents.
yes,
Okay.
as he's just literally laughing at that, he can't argue that assessment, but it's one of those that is definitely a way to describe Thanksgiving. Anyway, I need to get off. I do apologize. I hope both of you are well, and you guys have a good night.
Okay.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, if you have any trouble kind of settling in and things, um, Claudio has like spare toothbrushes and pajamas and stuff if you don't know where to get things.
I will look into that, thank you. I'm going around, trying to get to know Tia City a bit better.
Yeah, I kind of need to do that too. Did you hear what the challenge was going to be for the transition of the seasons?
No, I did not hear about that.
Well, When one season gets replaced by the next season, they each choose a champion, and then the incoming season chooses a challenge for both of the champions, and they have to try and do the challenge. And if they, well, in this case, it's autumn and winter because obviously it's currently autumn, and then it will be winter. If autumn wins, we get 2 more weeks of autumn. If winter wins, then winter starts its turn in charge. And then, like I said, it's 2 more weeks for autumn, so then there'd be another challenge. But the winter champion decided that the challenge was going to be kind of hide and seek.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the autumn court, and Theo is in the winter court, and basically I have to hide from the winter champion, and Theo has to hide from the autumn champion. He keeps saying he's not planning on hiding. I'm not sure if he's just trying to hide his plans about hiding, or if he actually does plan to just go and sit in a restaurant that serves wings.
This is very interesting. So, the courts here test each other's mettle with unviolent challenges. I like this.
Well, sometimes they're violent. It kind of depends, I suppose. Usually, the summer to autumn or the spring to summer tend to be more violent than the autumn to winter and the winter to spring.
And why is that?
Well, some courts are more interested in fighting than other courts. I mean, every court has their fighters. It's just whether that's a big priority or whether it's not a big priority.
I understand. Um, Bruce gets up, looks at Iris. If you excuse me, I need to go find the one called Soren.
Okay. Good luck with that. I think it would probably be a much tougher challenge for them if Soren was hiding.
It would be probably, judging on what he can do. You are also welcome to come along if you would want.
It's okay. I should probably keep wandering around and kind of looking for possible hiding spots and things.
I understand.
Do you think it would work if I kind of painted myself green and tried being a statue?
He looks confused.
It's
Looks
your
at the
concept.
statues.
And of course, some of the statues are kind of grey, but some of the statues are kind of more green because they've been exposed to the elements and things. Kind of like the one that they were standing near earlier.
Mm-hmm. He just looks at them and looks back at Iris. Would to get a proper attire, I don't see why it would not work.
Well, that's something to think about. Good luck with Soren and stuff.
Thank you. And he nods very politely, then just takes off.
And there the scene will end.